Guys, I mean, what do you think about the fact another fighter pulling out? It keeps happening. It happened 20 times plus last year. Oh, what's going on? Is this on fighters cutting too much weight? Is this on the UFC pushing them too hard? What's going on?
Okay, Hathaway, thanks for calling in. I appreciate that. Oh, there's my line back again. Yeah, it went out for a second. Well, it's got nothing to do with the UFC. The UFC aren't pushing the fighters too hard. That's a fact. You know, generally fighters fight 2, 3 times a year. So it's not like they're on this crazy schedule. Cerrone fights the most out of almost anybody in the UFC. And again, you don't see him do it, I don't know, maybe 4 times, maybe even 5, but out of a year, generally 2 to 3 times. So it's not the UFC's fault. MMA is a hard sport. MMA is a really hard sport. And unfortunately, the old saying goes, you have to train the way you're going to fight. And what I mean by that is you're going to push yourself in the gym the way you want to push yourself in a fight. And if you don't, when you try and push yourself in the fight, you're going to be tired, you're going to run out of steam, and it could be a shock to the system. All of a sudden, these guys are coming at you much harder than what they were in training, and it's a shock. So it's a necessary evil. Now you got to train smart, all this type of stuff. But with Robert Whittaker, I mean, that was just, there's nothing to do with training smart, nothing to do with pushing himself to the limit. He got a hernia. And I don't know enough about hernias. I've never had one. I've got no experience with them, unfortunately. But it's just one of those things. Now, of course, yes, that the hernia may be one of those things, but fighters showing up with injuries is commonplace. And see the point I just made about that. It's just a reality. Now, the question is that because fighters? Is that because there's more fights happening? Is it because the UFC are putting on more events, so therefore the problem is heightened? It's more prevalent because whereas in the past there was only 5 shows a year going back to 2004, so it never happened, and now we've got a fight nearly every weekend, so that the chances of somebody dropping out is higher. Is it highlighted because of that, or is it because fighters now want to step into the octagon totally? 100%, they're less willing to step in there injured. I don't know. Lewis, over to you while I fiddle with this light, which keeps going
No
on and
problem.
off.
I mean, I'm just looking at what hernia really is, and I didn't even realize exactly what it is. So I guess apparently an organ can start to, I guess, slip through the muscle. So that's actually what's happening.
No. From my understanding, hernia is a muscle that pushes through the skin wall on the inside. Jesus, this light keeps going on and off. That's what I thought. I'm going to fiddle for a second.
A hernia occurs when an organ pushes through an opening in the muscle or tissue that holds it in place. For example, the intestines may break through a weakened area in the abdominal wall. Hernias are most common in the abdomen. They also could appear in the upper thigh, belly button, and groin. So it's more than just the muscle. I guess it could be, or I'm not a doctor, so I don't really understand this, but it sounds fucking painful. So I've had my son's mother's father had hernia, and he was in a lot of pain, and apparently it can be caused by lifting heavy objects and exercise. So maybe it isn't pushing himself too hard. It's just the toughest sport in the world. I think with any other sport, your body gets so used to what, those movements. Think about any other sport. It's a very specific movement, and in MMA, you're mixing all of these different styles, everything from grappling to striking, the way your body is twisted and shifts. To have any understanding as to what's going, if you're sparring in real time, you don't really know the load that's going to come on your body. So you're not really prepared for it the same way that I think that other athletes are prepared for it.
3 things to say. Firstly, Harrington, split screen, please. Can't see myself. I don't know what I'm doing. Second thing, you said it all depends on how the load comes on your body. Don't know if I agree with that statement. Right. I don't think any loads are coming onto any bodies. And thirdly, I have a statement from Dana White here. He actually says the headline is Dana White says, thank you, Harrington. Dana White says that the injury could have been life-threatening. He says, this was one of those freak accidents where the doctor said he'd literally never seen this type of injury. Alfie, back, take a shot. Yeah, the doctor said, where was he? Never seen this type of injury in a young person. This usually happens to old people. Do you think he's had this problem and it's been going in and out and the load coming on the person. And it's one of those situations, had it popped out during the fight,
Load coming
it could
on
have
the
been
person.
fatal. I know, it's like it's loaded with so many double entendres, innuendos all over the place. Hold on, where is it? I keep losing track of it. Had it popped out during the fight, it could have been fatal for him. We don't know exactly what happened with the doctor. Hopefully, they popped it back in and sewed it up. And if that's the case, it'll be 4 weeks. But this was a freak injury. So, yeah, I mean, it is just one of those things. It is. I know I was having a bit of fun at Robin's expense at the top of the show. But, if it's a freak injury, one of those things, it sucks, but it sounds like nobody's to blame. Sounds like it couldn't have been avoided. They're saying it's a freak injury. And listen, human body's a weird thing. Had he been an MMA fighter, maybe that wouldn't have happened. But if he wasn't an MMA fighter, he wouldn't be in the main event and we wouldn't be having these discussions.
Right.
It's a hard job. It's a hard sport. You push yourself to the limit on a daily basis. You follow a strict diet. You sacrifice so much. And the human body is a complicated system. It really is. And things go wrong from time to time. I don't think it's anybody's fault. And I just hope they reschedule the fight soon. I hope Kelvin gets some kind of compensation for his efforts, for the fact he traveled down there. Yeah, that's about that. Any more callers or?
Harrington, you tell me what you have next. You tell me, because I don't want to fucking embarrass myself anymore. Okay, he's checking. He's double checking. Measure twice, cut once. That's what they say. I like that.
Hey, what's up, boys?
It's Alex from LA.
Alex from LA. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how you guys doing? Big fan.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you very much, Alex. I appreciate that, my friend. What's on your mind?
I'm just trying to figure out what's going to happen to the middleweight division, now that Bobby Knuckles is out once again. Do you give Israel another fight? How does it work? Is it fair to kind of have him fight again for an interim title, or, what's the deal?
I don't think they're going to do an interim title. We were just speaking a second ago. Hopefully, if the operation is a success, 4 weeks, he'll be back up and running. So they'll probably stick this fight on another pay-per-view, maybe 2-3 months, 3-4 months, who knows, down the line. The sad thing for Robert Whittaker is that won't be in Australia. And if that time frame is to be believed and is accurate, there's no need for an interim title fight. And it seems that Robert is a little bit injury prone, though, so which is concerning for such a great fighter, and he's still kind of young. He has struggled with injuries, there's no threat to the middleweight division. It is what it is, So yeah. Anything else before we let you go?
No, he's gone already. Next caller, who is it? Harrington.
This is Donna from Dublin.
Donna from Dublin. What's going on? I think it's a chick. Nice.
No,
Yeah,
it's
Donna.
not.
Yeah, Donna.
They got my name wrong.
Oh, they got his name wrong. Never mind. We're calling you Donna anyway.
Harrington. Right, Donna.
Sorry,
give us your best
Say
shot,
that to me
buddy.
again?
Donna, give us your question, my friend.
I'm allowed to ask about non-MMA, right?
Sure.
Please.
Lewis, what happened to the Dice Cast? It's just disappeared off my Apple Podcast subscription.
Oh, Dicecast? He only did one. We did a season. It's seasonal. We're still talking to Dice. We love Dice. I think he did 16 episodes for his first season. And he's super busy. He's did a movie television show. So hopefully he'll be coming back for a second season, but we don't have anything to officially announce yet.
Hey, if you want to ask those fucking questions, go ask it on the Real Ass fucking podcast. Believe you me, centric, motherfucker. Roll on with your next shot. Go. Doesn't have to be about. Does it? Hey, can we ask non-MMA? I said, yeah. You didn't say, can we talk about Lewis's other podcasts? Okay. We're not here to talk about Lewis's other podcasts. Okay. Got a question, Donna, fucking Donna from Dublin.
It was Ireland too. I thought for sure he'd be asking about Bisping. All right, next question. We don't have that much more time. We only have about another 7-8 minutes on the air right now. Jack from Canada, you're on the Believe You Me podcast.
G'day, is this Lewis?
This is Lewis.
Hey, Lewis, how you doing, man?
What's up, pal?
What's up, Jack?
Good.
Michael Bisping here. How you doing? Thanks for calling in.
Your
We appreciate you
volume's kinda
taking the
low
time.
there. I don't know whether it's me or you.
I love how he's ignoring Michael Bisping. He goes, Lewis, am I on with Lewis? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Mike's like, hello, I'm over here too.
I'm going to go to the toilet while you and Jack have your little bromance. Okay. Listen, I'm
So
sorry
I
for
have a question
speaking.
for Mike.
Question
Please
for
go
Mike.
ahead, sir. Oh,
So,
you have my attention.
I've been watching Callum's wrestling career develop, and you were talking earlier in this episode about his potential UFC aspirations. I kind of had this scenario playing out in my head that I'd like you to explore. I'm kind of imagining Callum comes to you and says, "Dad, I've been busted for PEDs." How do you respond to that? What would you do? How would you, given your experience in the field and your very famous stance on PEDs, I kind of wanted to explore that scenario.
Well, thank you for the call, my friend Jack from Canada. And if you're not in Toronto on the 10th of March, you're dead to me. But okay, interesting scenario. I mean, he's actually going to college shortly, later in the year. I signed his scholarship agreement on Thursday, actually.
Where's he going?
So San Francisco State.
Awesome,
He's got a
dude.
scholarship there. And I was asking that they do actually get tested. So he'll be tested there by the USADA program. So it's all going to change. The USADA may be showing up at our house if he's home for Callum instead of me. So that's going to be kind of interesting. Come on. He ain't going to fail. But if he does, he's out of the house. He's dead to me. He has to denounce the name Bisping, take on his mother's maiden name, go by the name Sidwick, and never speak to me again.
Now, if his mom wants to start using steroids to get her back in the gym and maintain that healthy lifestyle, all for it.
Squat till she's hot, all that type of shit. Yeah, I'm down. I'll allow it. Okay, but only because it makes you live longer. Only because it's healthy. That's all I'm cared about. That's all I care about.
All right, Mike, really quick, let's talk about Robinhood. Robinhood is an incredible investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission-free. While other brokerages charge you up to 10% for every trade, Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fees, so you can trade stocks and keep all of your profits.
Plus, the good news is that there is no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. View easy-to-understand charts and market data, and place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. You can also view stock collections such as the 100 most popular. With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio. Discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss the right moment to invest. Robinhood is giving listeners of the Believe You Me a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Yes, I repeat, we are giving away stock in Apple, Ford, or Sprint. No other podcast is doing this. And
Merry Christmas, bitch.
And if they are doing it, they aren't delivering it in such an organic way that we are. If you sign up at believe.robinhood.com, free stock in Apple. Free stock in Apple. I mean, Steve Jobs, eat your heart out all day. If you want to be Steve Jobs, if you want to rock around in a turtleneck sweater, right, look like a bit weird, but secretly be a multi-billionaire, all you got to do is go to believe.robinhood.com. Start trading on Robinhood. Get rich quick via the Believe You Me podcast. What more do you want, guys? Thank you very much.